gateway work process here, right? So SMGW is the transaction code for the gateway work process here, right? So what this work process will do, the gateway work process here. So gateway work process is like, so secure the our system, secure the our system here. In case of if any external connections are coming, so via gateway only it will connect it here, right? Via gateway only it will connect to the our SAP systems here, either external connections, internal connections. So anything via gateway it will connect it here. The gateway enables the communication between your work process and external systems here, right? So it will establish, it is a some kind of intermediate, like, so it is a communication between work process from the different instances and SAP systems here, right? You have the multiple instances, those work process communication from one instance to another. So it will use it, and also it will enable the communication between work process and external programs. Suppose if you have any third party systems which are connecting to your SAP system, right? So the SAP systems are connecting some third party, some other things and everything. Those things will connect it here, right? Why? Because in the network, we have the different type of communications will happen, right? RFC communication we discussed, right? Different communications will happen in the systems here. One system to other systems communications will happen here. So this SAP system will go connect to this one. This will connect to the, so this system here, this will establish the communication to this system. Like, so in the server means, so different communications will happen from one system to other system here. Suppose like this is the third party banking server. Then this required the data from the SAP, right? Some payments processing and everything. Then it will pull the data from the SAP. Then there is a one connection will be established. If any outside of the person want to come to your home, then then gate is opened, then he will come to your home. If the gate is closed, then how will he come to your home, right? Same way gateway security, right? So every some homes we have the in front of the home there is a security person, right? So if you want to come inside of the apartment or flat home, then definitely the security person will do the necessary checks. Then once everything is okay, then he will allow you come inside of the home, right? Same as like here also. So every gateway work process gateway SMGW is the transaction code here. Here we can check the work process details and all the information here. If we go to the system here, if we go to the system here, here we can find out the some information here. If we go to the SMGW here, so here it is the transaction code to monitor the, so gateway monitoring, how the gateway is allowing the connections, right? What are the connections currently active, right? If any external connections or anything, it will show the active connections in this table here. In this table, you see currently 0, then maximum is the 2000 connections are formed. Means your application server, your SAP application, SAP capacity is the 2000 connections limit. We can increase it, but so we have to check the memory, pipes, and everything. We need to check it out, right? So here the logged on clients and remote gateways one. So there is a limitations here. If the limit is over, if the limit is over here, so then so system will not allow any connections here. If limit is over here, system will not allow any connections here, right? That is the main thing here. Okay, that is the main thing here. So here we can check the our gateway connections. How many number of gateways are active here currently in the system? This is the external, this is the logged on clients, IGS connection clients here, right? So this is your connection which you logged in remotely. So if any third party system, suppose your system is integrated to the any third party system here, then if your system is integrated to the any third party system, then those system details we can see it here. Those system details we can see it here in the in this clients we can see it here, these details, right? So your system details here. So in this way, we can check it out. So what exactly we will do it in the SMGW transaction code is here. In case of SMGW, if you find any disconnections, we go to the logged on clients. Here, if you see any connection, okay. Sometimes connection not okay. Sometimes then those connections we can freely delete it here. Just delete the client here. That client, that connections we can delete it here. Right? So sometimes you can here you can see the list of connections here. The status is disconnecting or some like it's not fully disconnected, it's not fully connected, it's in the middle, disconnecting or connecting due to the client side network, very weak networks that time. So it's unable to connect it, even it's not fully connected, it's not fully disconnected, just it's a intermediate status, means it's connecting status here, which means so it's not connected. In that case, the connection got stuck. So as part of our daily monitoring, what we can do, check if any the status of the connection is showing that so connecting or disconnection status here, which are older, then select, right? Then or delete the connection from the gateway. Why? Because every gateway has a limitations, right? So the limitations over, so if the disconnections connection status also counted here. If the 2000 connection, then 1500 connections are disconnecting and only 500 connections, and then 2001 connection is coming, then it will be disconnected status. It will not connect it to the SAP systems here. Why? Because if any connection is coming, if any user connection is initiating, so first of all, even in front of your home, the gate should be open. Then only the connection will come to your home. If the gate is closed, gateway is closed or gateway is not running, then how that person will enter into your home? How that person will enter into your home? So that is not possible. So that's the reason. So that's the reason main thing is here, connection should be open. Here, limitations we need to check. Everything is okay, then we are good with the transaction, right? That is the gateway work process window. That is the use of the gateway work process. It will just monitor the so connections and everything here. So we will see connections. If any connections, older connections or disconnection connections or so anything, we will disconnect those connections and etc. We will disconnect those connections and etc. here. That is the main thing of the connection status and everything here, right? So that is the one thing here, right? So that is the SMGW connections here, right? So SMGW connections here. So in case of some customers, sometimes we may have to configure the more security functions. So because you see nowadays there are the many cyber attacks in the system. To keep our systems attack avoid from the attacks, what we can do, we can configure the more security settings. Like so, like normal SAP will perform the normal inbuilt there is security features that will disallow the connections and everything, right? But in case of if you configure only more, then go to the expert settings, then external security, then maintain the ACL files here. Here we need to maintain the secinfo reginfo file here. So secinfo file is like a so user connections here. What type of users you want to allow here, right? Here P means permit user equal to star means all the users, right? So host is equal to which host they host, then internal, external. So those things we to maintain. So if you maintain user equals to DDIC or user equals to Ravi, then only Ravi user is allowed to log into the this SAP system, right? Only dedicated user even maintaining, right? Then in that case, other users will not be allowed. So in that case, we need to check the this external security functionalities, secinfo, reginfo files, how the correctly configured or not. We need to check it out. Secinfo, the reginfo files are is correctly configured or not. We need to check it here. Secinfo, the reginfo files here, right? So that is the main thing here. The secinfo, reginfo files are main thing here. right? Then you can go to the reginfo files here. Reginfo. Reginfo means so external connections here. What type of connections you are trying to use it here? Sometimes other system to this system there is a hacking will happen. Cyber attack will happen. Then in this case, so here also we can configure the just go to the ACL files. Nothing is there. Just go to the ACL files here. Just create the reginfo secinfo files here. Right. So reginfo file is like a connections, RFC connections, and all those things we can configure it here. Which connections you want to allow to connect to the inside of your systems and everything here. Then secinfo user connections and everything we can configure it here. Which connections you are trying to use it here. These things we can configure in the reginfo secinfo files here. In case of suppose like here in your system only these connections are configured. You want to allow only these connections, then you need to save these entries here. Only these RFC connections will function. Remaining connections will not function. Means work will not work. So where to check that RFC destinations and everything? This is the one way to how the external connections will connect or your systems will connect to the systems and everything. So where to check? This is the one, right? This is the one to connect to the external and external systems will connect it to using the SM59 RFC destinations, right? So this is the file. If you save these entries here, then so only these connections will function. Other connections will not function here. That is the main thing. Second, for again for file means so maintaining the specific users list here, but it's changing this external fields, external security settings here. Go to expert functions, then external security ACL files. These are the some kind of so typical setting, dangerous settings here. Normally some customers they will change this setting, some customer they won't change these settings here, they will keep it as is. Why? Because the person is this person is connecting to the SAP system means you need to use the network level authentication, RDP. Then he will open the SAP user ID password. Then three level passwords he has to enter. Then only is coming to SAP system here, right? So then anyhow we have the operating system level password, network level passwords. We have the multiple authentication passwords are there. So that's why people won't set this kind of things in the SAP system. Some customers, banking side customers, or some finance customers, they will use this external access ACL means access control list also they will set it out. Access control also they will set. Access control also they will set in our SAP systems, right? This is the ACL files here. So we can check it out. If after you configure, if you go to the trace, every work process, there is a traces. You can go to the work process, you can go to the traces, gateway traces, which connections our SAP system is rejecting. So there is a connection, the IP starting from the 107. What is this 107 IP? Right? So then 107 IP is getting started here. Is rejecting. The gateway connect is remote pending. It's not connecting remote gateway. So there is a connection issues here. You can see there is a connection issues here, 3304, there is a connection issues, right? So it's recorded. What is this IP? Which IP is this? Which IP is this? Let me check. 107 NW1 107. Yes, you are in the which system? NW1. So it's unable to connect to the remote gateway, connect to the refugee here due to the some ports or something connection issues. So some log files we can check it out in the traces here. In the traces, we can check the log files here. So here SMGW is the transaction code here. Here we can check the gateway monitor and the gateway read process here, right? So here gateway monitor is used to analyze the administrator of your SAP gateway here. When you start it here, so here we can see the gateways, connections list and everything here. If any connection is not good or not disconnecting status, those connections we can analyze it here. And gateway read process here. Then is the main process of the gateway system here. Periodically it will receive, it will check the process connections and everything here, right? SMGW. The main thing is our duty is here SMGW, why we will use it. If any connection limit status, we will check. If any connection limit, and also if any disconnection status connections, those we can we can remove those, we can free up those connections here. These two things we need to check in the SMGW transaction code. SMGW transaction code, we can check it out. This is the gateway work process. If you want to configure the external expert settings here, go to the external security, then go to the maintain the ACL files, and here some external connections we can maintain it here. External, so we can maintain it here, right? So that is the connections here. That is the connections here, right? So that is the connections which we can use it, right? So that is the gateway related thing here. The next one is like the last one is a spool. Spool. In the work process administration, we have the work processes called the DVEBMGS. D dialog we discussed. V update, E enqueue, B background, M message server, G gateway. So we discussed it. Now, S means spool work process here. Spool. Spool is like we will use the spool work process in the printer side. Print the request, print the data from SAP. So sometimes you may have to print your appraisal form. Sometimes you may have to print your pay slips, your vendor informations. So purchase order information, purchase contract information, you may have to print it, right? So then that case, suppose if you are using the HR system, HR side, you may have to print that HR's related informations, right? Appraisals, cycles, documents, all those things you may have to print it here, SAP. So in that case, this spool work process will be used here. The spool work process will be used here to print the data. To print the data, the spool work process will be used here. For the spool, we have to use the SP01, SP02, SPAD. SPAD is the configuration, printer configuration, spool administration part. AD means administration. Here we can configure the new printers. We can configure the new printers. We can adjust the new existing printers, change the printers names and everything, color printer or whatever the printer. You can configure the new printers, mainly SPAD. We can check it out. The logs and all for all the users, we can check how the spool requests are going and everything. We can check the SP01, SP02. But the main configuration, we can do it in the SPAD transaction code here. If you go to the SPAD transaction code here, SPAD, so here, so here we can go to the output devices here. Here we can go to the output devices here. So what's happening here? It's disconnected. Okay, back. Okay, here we can go to the output devices here. We can configure the new remote printers. We can configure it here, right? New remote printers, we can configure it here. Already existing printers are there. So new printers, we can configure it here. So here, output device name, printer name. Suppose like if you're configuring the office printer in the office, then office printer, which floor? Oh my God, what's happened here? Office printers, then short name, we can type it like just a minute. For configuration of the printers, new printer configuration, we do using SPAD transaction code. AD is the transaction code. There we can perform the all the configurations. So new printer configurations and etc. Those and all the things we can check in SPAD. SPAD is the transaction code here. So let me go to directly in the server so you can get the all the information. What is the transaction code and etc. Okay. Yeah, sorry guys. So SPED is the transaction code for the printers creation. Printers creation means adding the new output devices, adding the new printers inside of SAP systems here. So we can integrate the new printers in your home or office. If you have any printers, those printers we can add to the our SAP systems. We can add to the our SAP systems, we can add it. So that whenever you want to do any print, suppose in your SAP you are using SAP for the success factors. You are using the SAP for the HR area, HR functioning side. So HR function side, there is appraisal you need to fill, you need to sign it, right? So that time you may have to use this kind of things here, right? Output divider, you may have to add it. Sometimes you may get the request to add the output devices. So in that case, you may have to you add the new printers here. In that case, you need to just click on the create button. So then what is the output device name? What is the output device name which you want to configure? Output device name means the printer details, the printer name here. Output device name means printer details here, right? So like suppose like demo one printer, you are trying to add it, the short name demo one, DM1 short name. So device class, the attribute, device attributes types here, device types and everything here. So what type of printer is this here? So there the lot of printers are there here, lot of printers are there, right? So which means Samsung printers, you can integrate it, Thai printers, Canon, HP, Laser, Xerox. They are the multiple printers you can integrate it here. Multiple printers you can integrate to the so your system here. Device class standard printers, right? Printer model printer here, right? Those things, location, all those things we can add it here, printer model. So every printer there is a model and location of the printer. Suppose like so M1 location Hyderabad, suppose example, right? The location of the printer. Samsung printer you are integrating. You have purchased a new office Samsung printer, those printer you are integrating into the SAP, right? So then what we are doing, so the printer details you are filling in the SAP side here. Go to the access methods, right? Go to the access method here. In the access methods, you need to give the what type of access method you are using here. There the types of access methods are there here. Here you need to choose the carefully. You need to choose the carefully. We have to plan the access methods here. Access methods carefully. You need to plan it all those things here, right? So here they are the majorly so local printers, then remote printers, then front end printing, local printing, remote printing, and front end printing here, right? Local remote and the front end printing we have to use it here. Local remote and so front end printing here, right? So here the access method is specified. We have to specify the access method during the creation of or definition of the output devices in SAP systems. So This step is very important here, right? So here we have to show that system knows how should transfer the spool work process data to the output device in the post spool system. How should we transfer the data? Is it front end printing or local printing? And like that. So here how to choose it here? Local printing here, right? So if it is the C, so there is a, so here the types of methods are there here, access method. So here, if it is the local, if it is the Windows system, you need to choose the C. If it is the Linux system, if it is the local, you need to choose the L access method here. C is the local printing from local printing from Windows operating system, which means local means your spool work process and your spool system means operating system spooler are on the same host here, right? In the SAP, your operating system spool work process both are in the same system. Every operating system there is a spooler, print spooler, right? So by default you will get the as part of the OS installation, either Windows or Linux. Your your spooler, the spooler process and your SAP process both are in the same host, then we need to choose the access method C. We have to choose the access method C. We have to choose it here, right? Got it? Suppose in case of, in case L means Unix, right? So L means it's a Unix operating systems here. So which means the spool work process of SAP system post spool are on same host. In case of it is Linux here. In case of Linux, so then we can use the L method, you have to use it. If it is the Windows, your SAP is the Windows, we can use the C, type C, we can use it. So L means it is the Linux, we need to use the methods L, we have to use it, right? That we know which operating system your SAP is installed, where the spool process is installed, that we know. So based on that, we can choose those things here, right? So next one is the remote printing here. Remote printing here. Remote also we have the Windows and Linux here. Remote means now you can simply tell if both are running. Both means your spool work process, right? Spool work process in SM50 we can see the spool work process, right? SM50 we can see the spool work process here. SM50 we can see the spool work process here. Your spool work process and your printer spooler, the spooler is both are running on the same operating system local. Remote means both are in the opposite direction here. Both are in the opposite direction here. That is called the spooler. That is called the spooler here. So here, which method we have to choose it here? Which method we have to choose it here, right? So when you are creating the methods here, see if it is the remote, if the remote Windows, if it is a remote Windows here, we have to use the yes, using the SAP protocol. If it is a Linux, you need to use the remote, then you need to use the print using the Berkeley protocol. So means the access method yes and U are for remote. Yes and U are remote. You have to use it here, right? Print and printing, then you can use the straightforward F is there. You can use the front end printing F. We can use it here. F we can use it here, right? That is the one here. So print using the external output device. So then E, external output device, you can use it here. Then print using the device pool, then you can use the P, you can use the P, we can use it here, P device pool if you are using here. So archiver and email, so you can use the respective things here, archiver, emails, those things you can use it here, right? So these are the types of access methods you have here, C, L, S, U and F. These are the three types of printing methods we have. local, remote, and front end. If it is the local, then so local means your SAP spool work process and your print spooler, the process, OS level process, both are in the same, then we can use the, so we can use the CRL. If both are in the Linux, it is the both are in the different machines, then we can use the remote protocol. We can use it here. Remote means either yes or U, we can use it. In that case, now we are configuring the one printer. SAP is on the KP online one, your print spooler is running on the Windows, then yes, we can use it here, right? Yes, SAP print using the Berkeley protocol, we can use it here. What is the host printer, where the your printer is located, right? Where the your printer is located. Suppose like in the KP Gem server, my printer is located. Where is the destination host? Destination host here, host. So then we can say like KP online one. Example I'm giving here. Then go to the output attributes here. So which method you want to print or pass the separate as output device, or is it color printer, what is the you want to print on one side or both the side or reverse order, how you want to print it out. You use the default, then which tray you want to use it, paper tray one you want to use it, then this kind of things we can configure it here, right? Just click on the save button here, then spool server, where your spool work process is running here, then click on the save button here. So then here, so your printer has been created here, demo one printer has been created here, demo one printer has been created here. So like that we can create the new printers. The only thing is the access methods, the type of access methods which we have to choose it carefully. The type of access methods we have to choose it carefully here, right? So here, so once you choose it here, now you want to print, right? So then you can go to the, suppose like you printer you have configured. Now I want to print the some HR data, right? Some I want to print some HR data, something I want to print it out here. So you can use the, so every screen there is a control P option, or means control P printer, or just you can type the control P. If you go to the any transaction code, even if you go to the home page also, there is a printer icon, control P. Just select this button, select it, click on the print, then it will ask the, maybe if you go to the printer shop also, you will get the this pop-up here. Right? That time the printer person, you will choose the what is the printer you want to use it here. It's a demo one. Then demo one printer you need to choose it here. Right? So then you want to print everything. Yes, I want to print immediately. So then click on the OK button, that request will create the one spool number will be created, one printer will be created here, right? One printer request number, every print there will be a one spool request number will be created, 6101. Then where to check the logs here? If you go to the SP01 transaction code here, SP01, there we can check the how the printer, we go to the SP01, here we can check the SP 6101. It's a waiting. What it is waiting? Waiting for the output device, waiting for the printer, right? There is no printer here. Then that's why the spool request waiting unable to connect to the output devices. We don't have any printers actually. So that's the reason the print request got failed. We can check the logs and everything here, right? So this is the, we can check it out here, right? SP01 is the transaction code to check the logs for all the users, not only created by you. You want to check the all the users, you can check it out. If you want only for you, you can type it here. But if you go to the SP02, only your user, how many till date, how many requests are generated, only those details will be generated here. Till date, how many requests are there, those will be generated here, right? That is the one thing here, right? So main is the SPAD is the transaction code here. Here we can configure the new printers here. New printers we can configure it here, right? So go to the access method, type the access methods here. The main thing, suppose if you are using the front end printing, means in your local laptop, your IT team already configured some printers here. You want to use those printers. I don't want to use SAP printers here. In that case, if you want to do the print, in that case, if you want to do the print, just click on the print. Then, so the printer name here, click on the OK button here. Then there is a request is generated. See, this in the printer request and everything here. Then there is a PDF, print to PDF got generated. It read my local printers. Then if you want to check the status here, if you go to the SP01, just click on the OK button here. This is completed, which means the print has been successfully printed from the system. Why? Because processing by the spool work process. It has been successfully printed. The spool work process has been successfully printed. Why? Because you used the front end printing. The front end printer, my front end printer is printed to PDF. So the PDF got generated in my local desktop. The PDF got generated. So that is the print. That is done. SAP duty is done. That's why we got this error. Suppose if you use your output demo one device name is called like a, so not the print to PDF, it's like a jump remote printer. Your printer is there in your local machine or laptop or something. So then you can use the CRL, something like that. You can use it. Then depends upon the method, we can utilize the spool servers and everything. We can utilize it and we can use it here. So if any printers creations or anything, we can use the SPAD is the transaction code for the printers creations and everything. We can use the SPAD. Okay, SPAD is the transaction code here for the printers creations and everything here. Okay, it is the SPAD, printers creations and everything here. So output devices creation, adding the output devices etc, we can do it here. So if you want to test, check the logs and everything, go to the SP01 transaction code. If you want to only your user, you can type the your user. You want not only your user, you want to check the DDIC user, then you can check the DDIC user. So suppose like I want all the users, then you can type the all the users data, right? You can type the all the users data from which date to which date, last 1 week. So just click on the OK button. See, then how many requests we will get. That many requests we can find out in the systems. Right? This is a spool. So printing purpose we will use the spool here. So why teams will print from? Suppose if they want to do the some purchase order, vendor, sales, material, manufacturing, scanning, not only printer, this SAP spool work process, they will own only printer side here. They are more than that. One part is only for the printer. So we have the many parts in that. Suppose if you go to the airports, the bag checking, Jet Airways, SAP, they will use it. Manufacturing, they will use it. The shop, marts, they will use the scanning and the luggage, the bags and everything. For the billing purpose, they will use this one here. It's not like that simply. It's printing only from the SAP system here. More than that, they will use it here, right? So if you see here,